going to go like kind of crappy on me tonight? It might. Oh, there's one popping up. This book is working. All right. Hello. Welcome to the show. Another episode of Northwest Exposure, a BMX podcast show. Tonight, we have our sponsors are Danger Snacks, dangersnacks.com. Go check them out. They are sweet, spicy, hot, fiery. They'll wake you right on up. They're natural. They're organic. All that good stuff. Vegan, if you're one of them vegans like I was for a while. And go check them out, dangersnacks.com. Make sure you also go check out Upright Clothing Company. You can check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Upright Clothing Company, or message Jim Kinsey directly, and he'll get you all set up with all your Northwest clothing goods. So I want to always thank our sponsors of the show. And moving on, I want to thank our guests tonight. We have on the show tonight, track operator of Molalla River BMX, not Kim Burleson anymore, Mike Dahlberg, and we have RBR's, Rich Brothers Racing's very own Harold Ridge on the show tonight. And tonight we're doing a little bit of a different show. Normally it's a legend of the Northwest getting on the show, or somebody, or an up and coming guy or girl on the show. But tonight we're talking about the Oregon State Finals coming up here in the middle of the month. And we're going to be talking about all that stuff, kind of Mike's background and coming into the sport and being the track operator, as well as talk a little bit about Harold's history in the sport as well, and his long time being the team manager of Rich Brothers Racing. So it's kind of the layout of the show tonight. So make sure you guys stick around. We got a lot of good information. Really trying to spread the word for the Oregon State Finals this year. Some big stuff going down. So, listen in. Stay tuned. Anyways, without further ado, welcome to the show, Mike and Harold. You guys are on.
Thank you. Hey, what's up? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Getting ready for finals.
Oh, state finals. I was like, you taking some firefighter classes there, Big Daddy? Yeah. Well, I guess we'll start out with you, Mike. How long have you been the track operator now there at Molalla River?
So I've been the track operator over there at Molalla River BMX for about, I guess it's been about 14, 15 months, something like that.
Gotcha. Very good. How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it, man. It's really cool. I've always been involved with, my boys doing sports and stuff like that. So it's just kind of cool to be a part of it, and they love seeing it. And being able to hang out with the young kids and the old kids, and just being a part of the sport, I really enjoy it.
Good. Very good. And then Harold, we got you on the show as well. Just a quick little shout out. I was just thinking about it because that was one of the questions I had for you. And a lot of people in the sport, of course, know you've been around it for a lot of years. And but how long now has RBR been going? I know you guys did like a kind of a anniversary thing just recently, but how many years now?
This is our 16th year as a team, basically. Yeah.
16 years. Now,
16 years, man.
I want to talk to Kathy Tuttle and maybe a couple other people that had teams in the 90s and whatnot. But Harold, you might be the longest running team out of Oregon ever. I just want to point that out. That's actually, we're gonna have to find out, but 16 years.
Yeah,
man,
I wonder about that sometimes.
I
wonder about that sometimes. Jeff brought it up about 2 years ago. Jeff mentioned it to me, and I was and this is the Ken, but we don't really have any kind of any proof or anything like that. So
yeah, but still, I think you got. Yeah, I think I'll have to ask a few people because there's some people that had teams for a lot of years, but I don't know if it was 16 years. I mean, that's and still going.
Yeah.
You have any hopes and aspirations of ever walking away? It's a joke.
Now that my little grandbaby is doing it, she's racing, she's enjoying it. as long as she's having fun and the family, want to stick around, want me around, I'm gonna be around probably. I'll be at some part of the sport, even if I'm not don't do a team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, I think it's rad that it's been going for so long, and we'll talk more about the team and kind of the backbone of it and where it all stemmed from here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and jump on in with the big show coming up here. It's going to be August. Gosh, my printer didn't work very well. Just read the dates.
August 18th and 19th.
Yeah, but also Friday night, so 17th, 18th, and 19th for the state finals in Oregon. And big news is that it's got a $2,000 team purse and growing, and it's got a $2,000 pro-am purse and growing. So let's kind of hit on that. I mean, that's the first time real big money has been put out for pros in Oregon since the mid 2000s, late 2000s, mid to late, and then definitely probably the biggest purse for a team purse in Oregon in a while, if not ever, possibly. But
actually, it grew about an hour ago.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. I'm pleased to announce that Jason Germain and Jake and Heather from Emerald Valley BMX have kicked in $2,000 to Malala River BMX to figure out how we're going to add more money into the team purse and also the pro purse.
Wow!
So big thank you to Emerald Valley BMX.
So theoretically, depending on how you guys want to split it up, it could make each purse $3,000 at that point.
Exactly. It could go $3,000 each way. As far as the program goes, I've been kind of staying out of that. That's been Austin Burleson. It's been working, along with yourself and also Harold Ridge, working on the pros. I mean, being able to get the big guys to the show, so to speak, but the big thing is, as well as being able to throw out a big team purse for all the teams here in Oregon and also other teams outside the state that want to travel to the state finals as well.
No, that's awesome. And I'm really hoping it does. I will, if I know I'm putting it out there a lot, because one of the biggest things that I've seen in the past is when, say, a track does get a decent amount of money for a pro-am or even a team purse, and it only has 7 or 8 pros show up, or 6, legitimate pros, right, and then maybe 5 or 6 amateurs sign up for it. It does make it harder for the track operator want to do it again, or when they have, only 2 or 3 teams show up. Now, granted, in Oregon, last 7-8 years, we've had quite a few teams going all the time everywhere. But as far as the pro-ams go, I know it makes it tough for, a track operator want to put up that kind of money, or at least go out and try to find that kind of money again. So I know if we want to keep it going, we got to get some guys coming in from out of state, some of these California guys, some Idaho and whatnot, even some of the faster amateurs. I know I've spread the word out there to a lot of guys in Idaho, Colorado, up in Washington, of course, and so on, and Nevada and California, and really try to bring more people in for the show for the weekend, because at this point now, 2,000 plus, maybe $3,000 for the pro-am, and then 3,000 plus for the team purse. I mean, that's good stinking money. That should say too to some team managers out there, like, hey, that's a big chunk of change to get, keep these kids going to the next race, and so on and so on. So really hoping it drums up a bunch of people, because I know, for us to keep, for the state to keep having it, for if you guys get state finals, or whoever gets state finals next year again, it's got to show that it was worth it, basically. So yeah, get the hell out here, guys. Yeah. So
that's what we want to see. We want to see as many people attend state, as much as possible, especially, the pros, and being able to come down, put on a really good show, for the state of Oregon, and being able to, have a large team purse to where, kind of make it like a little, just, I guess, somewhat like a little miniature national type thing, and that's what it's all about, getting all the key players and all the teams, to the track, and especially after we just did that fresh rebuild, there's a lot of people in the state of Oregon that are pretty excited for our track.
Yeah, definitely. Well, one of the things I wanted to, so even with the, the team payout growing, a few things I wanted to point out for all you team managers out there is, for the team purse, there's some stipulations with it, and they're good stipulations. They're not like weird ones or anything, but
right.
No borrowing riders. So that means, not just picking up a rider that's there, happens to be fast, throwing them in a jersey and being like, hey, or even not throwing them in a jersey, I should say. So the riders must be in the jersey of the team that they're on the sheet for. Local scoring rules. So that means the team sheets that will be handed out at each race, those will be the actual sheets and the points for local scoring for state races. And then another part was that it has no pros, open riders, etc. can be used on the sheet. So that means if you're a pro or an amateur racing pro-am in that class, you can't be used on the sheet, as well as if you're racing 12 open, if there happens to be a 12 open class, and so on. So it's only class riders being used on those team sheets, to making sure that, somebody doesn't get a huge advantage, because theoretically that pro-am could grow into 20, 30 riders. And then all of a sudden, somebody gets a lot of points where, it's not able to get any points anywhere else. So pretty,
true.
Yeah, pretty good stuff on that. I know and this, I kind of wanted to point this out, and I'm going to ruffle some feathers, but that's what I do. So, I've watched the state of Oregon grow with the team purse thing for a lot of years. And it really does, unfortunately, bring out the worst in a lot of team managers out there in the past, where, all of a sudden, Harold's laughing. All of a sudden, Joe Kid novice who gets the same amount of points as, some fast, super fast expert who has 15 riders in his 8 novice class ends up on a team sheet, and no one's of the wise of it. Nobody pays attention to it. Nobody catches it. Or, a team that doesn't have a team sheet being turned in that weekend, all of a sudden that rider is on somebody else's team sheet. And it really bums me out when that kind of stuff happens. I mean, it really does. It just, I was telling Austin this when we were talking back and forth, is that, unfortunately, the money part can bring out the worst in people. And as long as the rules are set up ahead of time, nobody will try and get away with anything and whatnot, and that kind of deal. So hopefully nobody pulls any silly kind of crazy ideas, and is just, even, and it was funny. I was thinking about it. I had a funny story that I've been on both ends of the fence. I've been that team manager going up being like, hey, dude, like, that kid's not in jersey, he's not on that team, like, whatever. But I've also been that kid that at 17 years old, we myself, some friends of mine, Zach Bean, Jack Jordan, and a couple other friends of ours, we came up with a team called Factory Food Stamps Racing. And it was just factory food stamps. No joke. This is not a lie. So it was factory food stamps, because we were all a bunch of just raggedy, poor kids with no team. And at the time, there was a great team. Actually, the wife of the team manager is listening right now, which is kind of ironic. And she'll find this entertaining, I'm sure. But there was a great team called Bike and Hike at the time. And this was about 97, I want to say, maybe 96. And there was a team called Bike and Hike. They had a great thing going. Everybody had the same uniform. And, and at this time in the mid 90s, that wasn't that common. They had great team events. They had great shows. You did it a lot for the riders. It was a big family, and it was really great. And here was us just going in, and there was no money back then, but the team trophy was like huge, huge deal. And here was us coming in, stealing the team trophy. We won it at, I don't know if it was the state finals or if it was at a state race at their home track. I don't remember which one it was, but nonetheless, Factory Food Stamps won the team sheet, and they were pissed. And of course, I was a smart ass kid that just was like, ha 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 ha. But then you learn and you grow up and you go, oh man, that was a pretty dick move. And so, if there's anybody out there that's like thinking like, oh, let's just all like throw a t-shirt on and say we're a team and then go, make a bunch of money from this race, that kind of thing. I hope I don't see that. I'm sure you guys hope you don't see that, but I don't know, that kind of deal is never any good for the whole atmosphere, the all the pissed off parents and team managers after the race.
Yeah, we want it to be legit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we want to make it fair for everybody. I mean, the thing is that, like you were saying earlier, that for a track board to come together and say, they have state finals or any type of big race for that matter, and being able to throw money up out of the pocketbook for the track.
Yeah.
You want it to be fair. You want it to be legit and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure that it will be.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, we got really quality teams right now in Northwest. I think if we can pull those teams from Washington, Idaho.
A little louder, Harold. Talk a little louder.
And we got pretty good teams right here in Oregon. So I think we'll be okay as far as sportsmanship. We should be right on time. Man.
Yeah. I do hope to see some teams like from out of state, though. I think that would be really great and really cool to see. A few teams from out of state come down and do it and whatnot. I know I don't know. It's kind of double-edged sword. Some people get kind of mad when people from out of state come to your state finals and that kind of thing. But I don't know. I think of it as kind of a good opportunity to get a lot of people together and make a really great show. But it's just my 2 cents.
Right. I saw a few things on Facebook today that some people were like, I'm almost wanting to say that Steve Clark or somebody in that post that you had up that was like, I'm a little hesitant to go to somebody else's state race, you know, and I get it. I understand it, and at the same time, I've taken my boys up to Washington state race and stuff like that. And it's, I don't know if that's a bad move to make or anything, but I mean, we're welcoming everybody with open arms, to our state race and hoping to put on a good show.
Good. So, well, I don't know if they want to be told or whatnot, but for the purses, I mean, you guys definitely obviously didn't bring that all out of your pocket. So, and you said Austin Burleson went out and got a lot of donations and been heading a lot of that up. So that's really rad. But who are some of the companies, or, obviously you just said Emerald Valley just kicked in $2,000 for the whole thing. So who's some other companies or private people that might want to be mentioned that are forking some money over?
Well, I mean, the thing is that we after our rebuild, we have some money that we started recuperating as soon as we started racing. One company actually that contributes because one of our board members volunteers their time and they have a kickback, and that's Land Research, and that's Tracy Buckles. So that's kind of cool being able to use that and stuff. Just trying to be able to. We've reached out to a lot of different people, Les Schwab and all the local type businesses and stuff we got letters into them right now.
Oh, good.
Actually, to be able to boost up that amount, I call them the heavy hitters, that help me out, through the track. And it's kind of my own personal thing because I have a great relationship with some of these guys, and that's K&E Excavating.
Okay.
I know Carrie and Eric personally, and they didn't bring a lot of money to the table, but, the thing is, it's like for a rebuild and stuff like that, we're shooting a little bit over $40,000 in donations from those guys.
Oh, wow.
In
time of the equipment and everything.
And the equipment, the fuel, the delivery fees and stuff like that. I mean, it's just been huge from those guys and what Carrie and Eric have done for our track.
Yep. No, that part that a lot of people don't always get is like that equipment part. That can rack up really, really quick, especially. And it's funny. Some people don't understand too. Me being a track builder at times and working for the ABA in the past, but like your guys' dirt, I guarantee you that stuff's heavier, has more clay in it, and it was probably wet still down at the very bottom. So that takes so much more fuel to get through that than, say, a track that's like predominantly sand or light sandy loam and fluffy stuff. And it's kind of funny, like when we redid Salem,
or even the stuff that you guys have.
Yeah.
That the crushed lime rock. I mean, that's good stuff. But I mean, when you start coming up more north in Oregon, and you're dealing with clay and silt and loam and rocks. And I mean, it takes a lot for those guys to get out of the ground to get it to you, and, you know, and fuel and weight and everything else. You know, one thing that kind of shocked me is that I worked with Peterson Cat. They donated a Harley rake and a roller to the track when we were rebuilding. And I mean, that roller that we had alone was like $350 a day. Yeah. You know, and they let us have it for over, I think it was almost a 2-week period. They let us have that roller.
That's awesome. That's huge.
Know, and
that's huge.
You know, the excavator, you know, we had a couple different sizes that were out there, but the large excavator that K&E donated, I found out through Peterson Cat, that's $3,000 all day long.
Wow.
You know, and I'm like, wow. You know, and they let us have that for a super long time as well.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand that part of the whole process of rebuilding a track is, you know, that alone is a ton of money, just the equipment. So I know you guys had Dirt Trends come in, as well as Dustin Golden from Rebellion Industries, who's kind of started doing his own thing as well with doing rebuilds and whatnot. And so how's that always? I mean, you know, the track's new, brand new track. First time since that track's ever been built that hasn't had flat first corner, and the track was built, I want to say like 87-ish originally, maybe 88, right around there somewhere. And it sat there as a park just for years and years and years. And it's been that same basic layout ever since then. And so how'd that all go over? How's it looking? Is it riding good? I hear great things about it so far on the internet, but how's that all going so far?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is with the track, it's been going really well. You know, from the time they Dirt Trend stepped foot onto the track, you know, working with Dustin Golden with Rebellion Industries, have them come in and groom me, you know. But the big thing is that, you know, this took me about a year and a lot of luck. Is what I tell people, you know, because being able to build a relationship with Carrie and Eric Kinsey, you know, from K&E, the owners, and, you know, being able to be surrounded by people that are, you know, they're basically getting on board with what you're trying to do. You know, one of my biggest assets is the assistant track operator, Dylan Smith. You know, the way that guy understands and the way he, you know, understands how tracks look, the way he was able to adapt and learn how to run equipment, you know, because one thing that we did is that we subsidized by, such as myself, because I am an equipment operator, you know, being able to run equipment, and it allowed Dirt Trends actually to kick one of their guys loose. You know, so that kind of dropped the price a little bit too. But, you know, being able to have guys like Dylan Smith, Ryan Smith, Ty Benson, Cody Cloud, Kenny Miller, Barb and Todd Benson, you know, to have all these people, get all these people to surround yourself and be able to, you know, latch on to what you're trying to do, understand what you're trying to do, you know, and then being able to have guys such as Tim Raston, then Taylor Jones, and also Jace Bartley. That was our track committee, basically, that picked the 3 different diagrams that Dirt Trends presented with us to be able to pick what type of layout they wanted for that track.
Oh, cool.
You know, but you know, and the thing is that I was the guy that got the equipment. You know, I was the guy that got the dirt, you know, because I knew who to talk to. But, you know, the thing is that being able to see these folks out there and really pride in what they're doing and basically latch on to what you're trying to do, and they understand what you're trying to do, and being able to just be a part of the team effort, you know, is what's huge, you know, to make a rebuild happen. Because, you know, and that's the thing, is that there's some people that don't like it, and that's fine. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know, I get that. You know, but a lot of people really love it, and being able to bring it up to date, and, you know, being able to get the whole state, you know, behind it, and kind of rally around what you're doing. I mean, it just made it that much more special. You know, the one thing I will say, and this is on a personal thing that made it really hard for me, and is about a week and a half before Dirt Trends came. My sister was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh no!
And she's everything to me.
Yeah.
You know, she's basically a mom, and so it was really it still is. It still is a really fine line of being able to balance track.
Yep.
You know, when I took over the track, I owned a 980 square foot home on a tenth of an acre. Now I own 10 and a half acres with a huge house, and trying to get that up to speed. And it's been really rough, you know, trying to be able to just, I guess, juggle life in general, you know. But and that's the thing, is that being able to have those people that I mentioned, to, you know, that surrounded myself and were there to help, and they, you know, they didn't even ask questions. I mean, they just knew, you know, and it made it that much more special and that much easier to be able to accomplish that rebuild. You know, and especially a lot of times when my head wasn't in the game. And there's sometimes I still show up at the track, you know, because my sister calls me and lets me know what's going on. And Kim Burleson, she knows. You know, I you know, there's times I show up and I'm a wreck.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard for me to focus on, you know, just running a little single point race. You know, so it's been kind of a rough summer. I'll say that. But, you know, being able to see these kids smile, I mean, that's what makes it worth it. You know, kids running around the track, they're having a good time. You know, they're, you know, watching some of the, you know, novices and intermediates that are like, hey, you know, we're going to try manualing this, you know, and they're manualing that. And then watching guys like, you know, Josh Rice, Kyle Norton, the Sis brothers, you know, they were out there last night. They're like, hey, who can jump into the second turn, you know, and just skying it and just having a good time. That's what it's all about.
It is. And that's like one of the best things about when you rebuild a track, is it kind of relights a fire under everybody's butt and kind of keeps them going a bit and whatnot. And it was definitely needed. I mean, I know I've opened my mouth up a few times about when states got out there. I thought it was amazing and great to have the state finals there. And I always believed that the track volunteers, the track people, the whole atmosphere deserved the state finals. It was just always really hard for me to be like, that, you know, to agree with the fact that that's not the track the state finals should be on. And now with the rebuild, we can finally say, not only does Oregon have this great program up there in Malala, but now there's this track that goes right along with it, and it's up to date, and it's going to help, you know, grow these kids further than, you know, that local kind of atmosphere. And now you have a track too that's not only the people deserve to have the state finals, but the track itself is up to par and great to have the state finals on, which I'm really excited about. And I'm actually really bummed that, you know, I don't actually get to race it. I just have to sign up and roll out of the gate. So
you're my 30-foot official, though.
I know. But
you know, I mean, just one thing I want to say is that, you know, I haven't been doing this very long. I mean, my kid's been in sports for 5 years. You know, I've ran, you know, Oregon Volunteer Firefighters Association. You know, I've ran baseball boards and stuff like that. You know, and one thing too is that I look around at some of these guys. You know, Mike Cummins. You know, he's TO down in Umpqua.
Yep.
You know, Jacob Youngblood, you know, who just announced yesterday that he's the track operator in Emerald Valley.
Yep.
You know, the one thing that I want to say is that I feel lucky when I took over, because, you know, and I'm not saying that these guys are going through this either, but or going through it at all, is being able to have the support of Kim, you know, after, you know, she decided to step down, and she decided to stay because we did our thing, turned the track into an up and stuff like that. You know, that's valuable. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's been really cool to be able to bounce stuff off of her.
Good.
You know, and be able to learn. You know, there's 10 years of hard work that she put into the sport. You know, and being able to, you know, sometimes she lets me fail. You know, that way I learn. You know, other times she might be like, you know, maybe you might want to think about this, you know. type thing. And so that's pretty cool. That's been that is a fortunate thing on my end that I've been able to access as a valuable part of me running the track.
Yeah. Well, and how long? You said 10 years. So was it 10 years exactly that Kim ran the track?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. So that in itself is amazing. And I just want to point out to any other track operators that are listening and people who are thinking about becoming a track operator, one of the biggest things that really helped Malala grow and continue to grow was Kim's face being out there, and that smile and that constant reminder that you're somewhere where you know the people. And I know, like, as growing up, my friends and everything, as they would kind of come back and come, in and out of the sport, they never had that feeling. And I could see why they could never really stay back in the sport or stick around for more than one or two races, is because if there's a constant new board, a new face, and unfortunately our sport goes through its members way too quickly. But if you can have somebody that either the TO or the president, that's that constant face, that's what really helps keep a program growing and growing and growing, rather than it being, every couple of years there's this new face and then people show up and they're like, these people, I don't really like the way they run it or whatever it might be. And you just lose people every time you change board and every time you change the TO. And really, that is, I think, one of the biggest things that, obviously Kim did a great job as well, but her being there for 10 years, it just made it as a family. It made it as a family, and that's super important. It was. And I think her still being around is going to help with, these other kids that, it's kind of funny to think about, but like kids that are Cody Cloud's age and whatnot, and Dylan Smith and these other kids that are going to start kind of phasing out possibly. But if the same faces are there and the same people are there welcoming them with open arms, that's going to make them want to stay longer. And I think that track operators, boards don't understand that part of it. And they really, really do. And I'm not trying to throw Emerald Valley under the bus, but I was a big advocate at keeping Jason Germain as the TO. And I know that he had to step down for health issues and just trying to get his life, his physical life back in order and whatnot. But at the same time, having a new track operator every single year, it can wear on your members and it can wear on your locals and whatnot. And this constant change. People don't like change. Admit it. We don't like change. We're creatures of habit, and we want the same open arms, And
well, go
ahead.
That was the cool thing. That was the cool thing too. Like, when Kim, she had a group called Malala River BMX Operations Group. Right. Now I was a part of that because I helped. In 2016, the first year that we had state. 3 years ago, being able to help rebuild, work with Dustin Golden and stuff like that. And just seeing how those people transitioned from Kim and being able to help me and being an asset for me, that's huge. It just goes to show how big of a heart that these people have for that track and, for the sport. And it's just amazing being able to have those people, just dive right in and help you whichever way they can.
Yeah.
One person who comes up is Todd Benson. I don't know how well you know Todd Benson.
I don't think I know Todd very well.
Like a robot. The dude works. I don't even know. The thing is with Todd, Barb, and Ty, the Benson clan, I have never met a harder working family.
Oh, that's right.
In that family. Right. They are amazing. Harold knows. Todd went in and had back surgery, right? And so they cut him open. They do back surgery. He's calling me on the phone on his way home under anesthesia, going, "Hey man, I think I got the post for the fence that we need to put up for the finish line." Blah blah. The dude just goes and goes and goes, and it's just amazing to watch that family, and next thing you know, he calls me the next day. And he's like, "Hey, so I found those round fence posts, because you know how we got those little round 10-foot pasture posts, you know, around the track. He's like, I'm driving to Vancouver to go pick them up. And I'm like, dude, you just had back surgery less than 24 hours ago. Yeah, I'm good. And he drove up there and got 70 posts for us. I'm like, holy smokes, this guy's a machine.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know,
that's good.
But being able to have those types of people, I mean, that's what drives the track. You know, that's what makes the track. You know, I mean, everybody should know that. You know, and being able to. And the thing is that if people are new in the sport and they're curious about volunteering and how to just ask.
Yeah.
You know, tracks need help no matter what type of race it is.
Oh yeah.
Just go ask.
Yep.
You know, they'll throw somebody with some experience with you where you want to be a corner official, you want to learn how to do staging. You know, it's been cool the last couple races we've had out there. I've stepped away from announcing. It's been Ryan Burdett who's been announcing. He's doing a fabulous job.
Nice.
You know, and it's just cool to see all these people that just want to latch on and just be a part of it, you know, and that's what makes the track successful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's the volunteers, you know.
Yep. No, it is. At the same time, though, it is the volunteers. At the same time, those volunteers don't stick around if TOs are constantly changing. You know, I think Kim's a perfect example of it. I mean, she had volunteers. There were volunteers for 6, 7, 8 years right along with her, you know, all the way through it. And now they've, you know, wanted to stay on with you as you've come in and continue to volunteer. Right. Now, if, you know, 2 years down the line or a year down the line, someone else steps in, then that's when you start seeing that unlikelihood of those volunteers still deciding to stick around. Because if they're constantly getting stuck with new ideas or new ways of trying to do things when somebody else comes in, then it starts to wear on people, unfortunately, and it's understandable at the same time. So, and you know, just I guess I'm just saying, you know, if we really want to see programs grow, those head people, those familiar faces have to be constant, and those volunteers, those awesome volunteers, will keep coming back and keep wanting to give their love and their support to the sport as well. So it's a huge part of it. So, well, there we go with that. Let's see. We talked about the team purse. We talked about the Pro-Am purse. Oh, I did have an idea. I'm gonna run it by you right now, Mike. Is during
put me on the spot.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. So a few years back, maybe it was last year. I don't remember which state. No, 2 years back at state finals, you did like kind of an interview thing, and you had people kind of come up and you talked about. You know, and do interviews, basically like what I'm doing now. And I was like, well, hey, I have an idea. So during practice, how about Northwest Exposure gets people down, sitting down, and we do interviews, and I record them so that I'll post them on the podcast as well. But then we'll you know, play it live on, you know, over the PA system during practice, and we'll do all that kind of stuff too. So what do you think, Mike?
You gotta promise me something though.
What's that?
I'm going to pick on you a little bit.
You better.
You got to let Harold Rich be the first person you interviewed because you took all his airtime last time.
All right.
Harold knows what I'm talking about.
I know. So did I go a little long?
So you got to start with Harold Rich. I'm fine with it as long as you start with Harold Rich.
All right. Harold, you're first on the list.
Harold had like a speech prepared.
Oh, did
he had like notes. And he comes up to me. Oh, I know. We're getting ready to put photos. We just got done doing our interview with you, Adam, and he's all, I'm ready. And I'm like, yeah, man, we're out of time. And he's all, what?
No. Oh man, that's rough. Well, I've got a lot to talk about, Harold. And when somebody starts asking me questions, I don't shut up.
Hey, you was having fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, then, Harold, you're first on the list for that one. All right, buddy. So, let's go. I guess it's a perfect. Well, actually, no. There's one thing, and Mike knows that I threw a bit of a tissy fit, not in the public. I just threw a tissy fit to Mike and Kim last year, and I want this to be an opportunity to help everybody else understand it as well as myself. and really understand where the money goes for the parking and stuff. I know it hit a lot of us by surprise last year. You guys are doing it again this year. So it's $5 for parking Saturday, $5 for Sunday, or 10 for both days. Really help everybody and myself feel really good about, giving $5, well, $10 if you're there both days to I'm guessing the Malala High School softball team.
Yeah. So, the thing is not being able to stretch your volunteers thin, and the thing is that Tom Barb Benson reached out to the high school softball team last year, and we kicked back a lot of money to them because we truly appreciate everything they did. I mean, they stayed last year after they went home and helped us tear stuff down.
Oh, that's cool.
So last year they bought new uniforms, and if I remember right, and I believe this year is going to help with purchasing equipment. As we all know, I mean, school sports and the budgets for those are dwindling, and so them helping us and us being able to help them out, and that's where those proceeds are going to go this year.
Cool. Well, good. So then, guys like me who send you a message being like, what the hell? I don't want to spend $5 on parking, especially
you got mad at me because you have to like my letters.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, you guys heard it. It's going to a good cause. It's going to the Malala High School softball team. They're going to be there directing people for parking spaces and stuff and getting everybody parked for you. Not valet service, but, pointing you to the right parking spots and getting you guys all parked. So all that money then.
Harold will do the valet.
Oh, there you go. Get Harold driving everybody's car. Harold, are you valet?
No.
Oh, good stuff.
Man.
Good stuff.
And that's $30. That's $30.
$30 for Harold's valet service.
Oh man.
Yeah, $30.
I want to see you in your little chauffeur's hat.
There you go. Well, good. So that's right. Parking money goes to the Malala High School softball team, and make sure everybody understands that it's going for a good cause and whatnot, and nobody get their feathers ruffled like I did last year. So perfect. Perfect. All right. So Harold Ridge. We got Harold still. I know he's been quiet in the background a little bit. So we talked a little bit with Harold at the very beginning about, how long he's been running the team, and he's thinking it's been 16 years. So possibly the longest running team ever to come out of Oregon, which is really rad. It's just kind of quick, rundown. What got you started on running the team and interested in doing a team? And I know obviously not everybody knows where, the original writers for the team came from. So give us a little rundown on that, Mr. Ridge.
Well, when we got involved in the sport, we had the kids. We had Miles, Little Jeff, Tashina, and Nisha and Miles' two friends were racing. So we were taking all of them to the races. Every time we went to Alpha Road, St. Helens, wherever we went. Actually, it turned out to be that same group at the Nationals and stuff. So we just figured, at the time we were with another team, and things weren't. It was cool, but they wasn't all the way in line with what we were trying to do. We was just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
And go out here and have fun with our kids, and didn't want no extra stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's when we started the team. Actually, the name of the team actually came from Roger Linder. We had mentioned that we were going to start a team to Roger, because Roger was like our connection to get gear.
Okay.
For pants and jerseys and stuff.
I see.
And so then Roger just said Ridge Brothers Racing, RBR, and that's what it stuck since that day.
Wow. There you go.
That's where the name came from. And man, it just blew up from there. We just went. It was just the kids and their friends. And then, as you know, we started doing more nationals and things like that. And then more kids, the families came, and it just grew, man. It grew. To me, it's a wonderful thing just to see people that that came to our team, that are still part of our team, and some great people, some wonderful people.
Definitely.
I'm blessed to even have those people in my life. I can pick up the phone right now, and these people, some of these people are nowhere near BMX. I pick up the phone right now. If I need something, they're there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And vice versa. But it's been a blessing to run this team, man. Some great people. I've met some great people along the way.
Good. Well, yeah. It definitely it's definitely been a staple of Oregon now. Everybody, it's kind of cool too. And even on the national level, like you've had riders that do well at nationals, but I wouldn't say you guys were a national team ever at one point. Maybe just traveling to them. But like I said, and doing well, but not always being like a big force to be reckoned with. But in the in the whole scheme of things, while you're doing that, you guys even became kind of a face of the national scene. Everybody knows who Harold Ridge is, and whatnot. And now, I think you're crazy, but you're over there corner officialing at how young are you now? Like crazy. Man, that stuff worked me out when I did it, and I was in my early 30s, and I was like, dude, what is Harold doing? He's like 50 now, and he's out there trying to sweep a corner. Crazy guy.
It's 110 degrees.
Yeah, 110 degrees, man. Yeah. And then you got Grindle giving you crap on the microphone.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So
but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think at first we used to party so much, me and Jeff go places and and the boys kick it, but everywhere we went we were always social with people, shaking hands and having a good time. You know what I mean? That's how I met a lot of people and gained some great friends just partying with some people and having a good time, a barbecue, whatever. However we were partying, we were having a good time. And basically it just kind of grew from there. And with being around Roger and being doing things with Lauren, people know and just doing things with those people and just having a time with those people, that was good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now that corner official thing, I do that because I figure if I'm gonna be there, why not have the best seats in the house to watch the good races?
There you go. There you go. Well, that
I've seen some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, and they pay a little bit of money to you guys, which I'm sure helps get you there, helps make it worth, for the finance part of it, makes it worth being there and whatnot, which goes to show even more, that you're putting yourself out there in the heat and really in danger at times in order to make sure that you're there to be there and be there with kids and all that kind of part of it, which is really rad too. So because
I was supposed to be in Salt Lake this weekend, but we have our family cookout, camp out, cookout, and we up here having a great time, so I had to get national.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to work this weekend.
Yeah. Well, that would have been fun having you there on the show while you're over there. But speaking of Utah, I will say I want to throw a shout out to she's from down here, Southern Oregon, from Medford, little Sierra Samhammer, Oregon rider, took the win today in 12 girls, which was pretty rad to see.
She got the win, huh?
Yeah, got the win in open and class, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I seen her. Brian posted a video, but I never got a chance to watch it because I was doing some music stuff.
Yeah.
But I seen a video that he posted. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So she was in third. So this just goes to show you never give up. And she was in third coming out of the last corner. One girl was out winning. She was starting to get charged on down the last straight, moved over on her, took the one girl out, and then she still crossed the finish line first, but got DQ'd, which then gives it to Sierra. And so it goes to show, man, even if you're in third, you don't give up. And she picks up the win, and I thought that was rad. Yep. Couldn't happen to some better kid, too.
She's been really fighting this year. She's been really going after it. I've been seeing her riding on got a few of the nationals that we went to, and she's really been going at it.
Yeah, she got a win up in Canada, too. Yeah. Backed up that Canada win with a win in Utah. So pretty rad. I watched the other mains, but I didn't see if many Oregon people went. Honestly, I didn't. Other than her, I couldn't think of anybody else went. Yeah. which is kind of crazy because normally that's an Oregon.
Hoffman went.
Who did?
Yes. Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor Hoffman went.
Okay.
Yeah, not that many people went.
No, normally quite a few Oregon riders go to that race. I was kind of surprised. So, yeah, I didn't see Bartley or Tree Rise in there in the main, or even Mr. Up and Comer, super fast kid now. You mentioned him a little bit ago, Mike. What's his name? Races.
Which one?
He races Jace and Josh. You just mentioned him a little bit ago.
Oh, fifth, Cody?
No.
Or Cody Cloud?
No, races Josh and Jace Bartley. You guys are killing me here. Local at your track. Norton. There you go.
Norton. Kyle Norton. Yeah, we just turned 14.
No. Oh, did he really? Crazy. Oh, maybe
that kid's pouring it on.
Yeah, he is.
That kid's getting fat.
I know,
That
man.
was my most improved.
Yep. That kid.
My most improved so far.
That kid was Kyle's like one of those perfect examples of that new ride. Like, you've got Josh and Jace Bartley, Josh True-Eyes, Jace Bartley, two of the fastest kids in the country, living right there in Portland, having to race each other week in, week out. Then you got Kyle Norton coming in and fairly new, just turned expert like 2 or 3 years ago, I think, and just started.
Yeah, I just saw his expert win on Facebook.
Yeah,
it popped up here a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did it?
I can't remember what year it was. So.
Yeah, so it just goes to show like that it is possible to, really turn expert and take it to that level where, a lot of kids will turn expert, and if they've got 2 really fast kids in their local scene like that, they don't last very long. That the whole thing kind of starts to fall back a little bit. But he was definitely one kid that really stuck with it and has really shown. And not only now is he, one of these kids and just as fast as them, but he's beating Josh and Jace, these nationals and whatnot, and being his own. He's at his own. He's his own force to be reckoned with now when he goes to a national. It's not just like he's kind of.
Yeah, he put on a really good show down in Vegas.
Oh, did he? Good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he beat some top nag kids. That's for sure. I mean, he's definitely in the hunt right now.
Well, see, and that's just it. That's the wording we got to get rid of in Oregon. He beat top nag kids. He is one of the top nag kids. He won.
Right.
We got to get rid of that. That
yep.
Oregon people have had that like for years. Like, oh, did you see that? He was right there with those nag kids or beating those nag kids. And it's like, no, just kids. He said they're winning.
Yeah.
Killing it. Beating the competition, whoever the competition is. So,
right.
Yeah, shout out to Kyle Norton. He's been killing it this year. Really proud of him. So, yep. Anyway, sorry, I kind of got off subject there. But so Harold, you're talking about being Mr. RBR. How long do you now with your daughter doing it? You mentioned that or your granddaughter's doing it, which I think is really rad, and taking her to races and stuff, which is awesome to see. So, how long do you plan to stick around, man? It's been pretty rad to have you, as a familiar face all these years.
Well, you remember when Miles walked away? When Miles walked away, I was doing it, but I didn't really have a kid out there. I was still with the team. I would go to races and like that with the team. And we had kids traveling the national or something. I would go to the national with them. Or, and I was able to work on the track.
Yeah.
But man, she loves this stuff. She's so crazy about BMX racing. It's insane. She watched. Man, when we was in Vegas, I think it was January of Vegas, we're sitting there and Eric announced that Connor Fields is gonna be in the building tomorrow and this and that. She said, Connor Fields? I said, yeah. She said, he's gonna be here? I said, yes, he lives here. And she was like, what? And I'm looking at her and said, why? Why'd you say that? She goes, I watch all his videos.
Oh, that's
awesome. All he do is win. That's it. I'm like, what? I had to hit him up. I said, man, come through. My granddaughter would like to meet you, man. I had to hit him up. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
She said, I watch all his videos, and all he do is win.
Oh, that's rad, dude.
And man, she loves it, man. She loves it. She loves it. much. She loved racing with the girls. She loved being competitive with them.
Good.
You know, and that's one reason she went straight to girls, because she likes to be competitive. And actually, right now in Oregon, for one, there's a good group of girls here putting it down. Some of them are top of the nation in what they do. And in this state right now, and at 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old range.
Yeah.
Really 12, really doing some good stuff here. So they actually have classes now. Back maybe 8 years ago, some girl classes didn't even have classes in Oregon.
Yeah.
Many. And so now there's actually a class you can race in when she go places. She's got 4, 5, 6 girls in Washington that she can race with up there. That they got a nice little girl class for her. So that's what she wants to do. She wants to race girls, and she wants to be competitive.
Good,
so,
man.
Hey, go at it, girl.
Heck
Have
yeah.
fun.
Well, she's got the best granddaddy around to help her get there, man. That's awesome.
I was supposed to give her move-up trophy this weekend, but you and Shasta.
Yeah, I'm up here having fun. So my family, we had the record. Well, yeah, we had a lot of people up here, and it's a lot, man. My Seattle people came.
Oh wow!
All the Bay Area family here.
Nice.
So yeah, we having a good time out here. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Good. I remember now that you talked about it. I saw a picture of you whitewater rafting. How'd that go?
Oh man,
tell me about it.
I was scared as hell at first, but you know, I couldn't be scared, so I was taking a group, So I just told myself I'm gonna do it, and whatever comes out of it, come out. And man, that was so much fun, man. I'm doing it again. I'm gonna find a different place to go, but I'm gonna do it again.
Good.
We had a good guide. He did some challenges and stuff. Kids had fun. I mean, they was playing duck, chuck, goose in the middle of the river with 5 rafts put together. I mean, it was just stuff. It was fun. It was a fun day.
Oh man!
Just imagine I got paid for that. That's crazy.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's rad. Well, did Miles go then too? Your boy?
Say that again.
Did Miles go there too?
No. That was a work thing.
Okay.
You know, Miles, he over at the lumber yard. You know, he's doing good. He still loves the sport, but he's a grown man trying to make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so he got to work, but he wished he could be out there all the time. But he's doing really good, man. They really love him over at the lumber yard. He's doing good things. Teaching classes and on his bike. So yeah, I mean, he probably gonna sneak away and come out for that pro-am though.
Oh, good.
I mean, why not?
Good. Exactly. Oh, and you know, for the pro-am, I do want to point out the pro-am is a $25 entry fee, and then the pro-am is $20.
$20.
Yep, $20 entry fee for the pro-am. Just so people know, is it $2,000 right there? Boom, there's $2,000 plus all the entry fees are going into it, or are those entry fees going in to help make that $2,000?
No, the money's already there.
Okay.
To make up the entry, the payout, the person.
All right, so you guys heard it then. So that's $2,000. The more riders you get, the more money they make. So. And all that on each rider's entry fee is going into the pro purse, correct? On top of the $2,000.
I'm not sure how often Harold have it set up.
Harold, do you got an answer for me?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I would talk to Austin about that as soon as we get done. See how we're doing that, but I'm pretty sure that's probably since the money's already there. That's probably going to be the way it goes.
Good.
You know, just to make it fair.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about another event that we're going to do Saturday.
Yep.
We're waiting on somebody. We're just going to finalize it probably Monday or Tuesday, but we're going to do the little am race and a little mini race, and it's going to be winners of each one getting $100.
Wow.
The first one is 10 and under. 10 and under, and then 11 to 14.
Wow.
And it's free. They sign up, and the winner gets $100. We're working on second and third. but it looks like it's going to happen. And it looks like Northwest BMX is going to be helping out, sponsoring that. So it's going to be really good. We're going to finalize that by tomorrow or Tuesday.
Nice. Well, that's exciting to hear. So you guys are having a mini am and a kind of a mid am. And then I also heard that there's probably going to be like a 30 and over open going on Saturday. Hopefully you guys get, a good turnout for that as well. I know Dustin Golden is kind of heading up on that.
I'm waiting for the details from Dustin on that.
Good.
It's going to be a 30-year and older flat pedal race is what I've been told.
That's even nicer. There we go. Wow. Making a flat pedal race only. I actually raced your guys' state finals last year on flat pedals just for shits and grins. So that was kind of fun. Yep. I was in training mode. I was like, I'm just going to race it on flat pedals and still almost got the win in the pro-am or we did a 30 and over or something like that. It was kind of fun though. But yeah. Kim Burleson just chimed in and she said, yes, pro-am goes to purse. So I believe that means that, yes, that $20 entry fee goes on top of, maybe that doesn't mean that. I don't know, Kim. Reading an answer is not always the clearest. So it says, yes, pro-am goes to purse. So I think that means that the $20 entry fees go to the purse or go on top of the $2,000. I don't know if that, you might need to clarify for me, Kim. But anyway, we'll see if she chimes back in and we get that question answered. But no, I think it's rad that you guys are doing it. I know. Yes. Okay. So yes, she said yes. It'll be $2,000 pro-am, and then entry fees are going to go on top of it. Their money they got donated by Emerald Valley BMX, that's going to go on top of it. So theoretically, it could start getting up into that $3,000 to $4,000 if more and more people come out for it and sign up for it. So it's $20 entry fee, and yeah.
Should be a good show.
It should be a great show, and and 15 and over as well. So. And it is on Sunday, so that would be the August 19th, the day of the state finals. So it is Sunday. You do have to be signed up for class or cruiser to race the pro-am for all the amateurs, and of course pros with pro licenses. Just sign up for the race and whatnot. Anything else, Harold, that you want to add with the pro-am?
No, I think we might cover most of everything. I just want everybody to keep their eyes open, ears open for the mini-am.
Good.
And bring the kids out to race. I hope people come out from other places and try to make their way up this way. I know there's a race in Manzanita that weekend. Yeah. But as far as other races nearby, it's not that many. So
no.
Hopefully people can come out and have a good time. The atmosphere is still there. Still good atmosphere, good fun, good times at Malone.
Good.
Always had good times at Malone.
Always. Yeah, that atmosphere has always been great. I will say it's weird now to not have all the trees. Like it's just so strange. And like to see houses. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, where's the trees? I need the trees back. I want the trees. That part's kind of weird. But the atmosphere, like you guys said, it's still there. It's going to be great on a brand new rebuilt track by Dirt Trends and Rebellion Industries. Dustin Golden, and then the McGuires for Dirt Trends and whatnot. And there will be food on hand. So make sure you guys check it out. La Cubanita. That's a food truck. They'll be there. Hot Teas will be there with event shirts. And then Northwest BMX will be vending as well. And make sure you guys go hit up all those guys. And again, the $5 parking for both Saturday and Sunday does go to the Malala High School softball girls team. And they'll be out there helping you guys get parked and taking care of all the parking and all that kind of situation. Because it is a tighter parking lot. And if it's not done right, it can get overcrowded really quick. And then all of a sudden there's blocked cars and people aren't getting out and whatnot. So they want to make sure that the parking is well handled for everybody and whatnot. And I'm just going to say it, but I almost guarantee you Manzanita isn't going to be putting out $2,000 to $3,000, maybe $4,000 of a pro-am. So all you NorCal guys, you're going to have a better payday up here. So just going to throw it out there. And you know, that's a good pro purse, man. And a pro-am too. So we got to get Tynan 80 over from Idaho. He better be here. Maddie Gomes is just chimed in. Heck, she should come up here and jump in there, man. She's a fast girl. She got second today at Utah. She could make that main. So and yeah, so we got to get that thing big, man, because that's the only way that it'll keep going and whatnot. And I do think too, you know, if it does create a good success and a great success out of it, the track up in Everett, Washington, used to do a really big pro-am type deal. Every year.
Right. Good stuff.
Yeah, and you know, it went great. I mean, they got big donations. They had Nick Long, Christian Bresserine, a bunch of you know, the elite AA superstars coming out to that race every year. And man, would it be rad or what if we could start seeing that happen in Oregon, dude? It would be a really great thing. So, you know, hopefully it's a success. And I think the biggest thing too is, like, I know when we used to do the pro races in Oregon at all the state races and state finals, you know, sometimes the people that were donating money would come to the event, and if they see like some big names there or big people there, or just a big group of people there, if they see and they see people smiling ear to ear after they're holding up a nice big check, you know, that alone keeps those people wanting to donate and be like, no, dude, this is a great event, dude, it's an amazing thing what they're doing. And that's what helps keep these companies donating. If they go and see that, you know, 4 or 5 people showed up, they're gonna be like, no, I mean, we're not gonna donate to that next year. So keep that in mind, all you local, and I'm saying this too because, like, all the local kids that might think, oh, but it's state race day or state finals, and I don't know if I want to throw in $20 and you know, you use up my energy. It's just like, no, man, there's more to it than that. Like, there's more to it. Like, it's more than just that. I mean, you guys got to. There's a big picture. So hopefully everybody signs up for it that's 15 and over, and it gets really big, and people come from out of state and whatnot. So that would be really rad to see. I know I'm pushing for it to be big, but yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we are.
Yep. Well, good. Let's see. Is there anything else you guys want to cover? We've been going for about an hour, a little over an hour.
Oh, we're gonna. Let Harold go.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get out here with my peoples, man, and
good,
and have one last hurrah before tomorrow.
Good.
And stay away from these bears.
Yeah, don't bring in the bears, man. Smokey the Bear is not your friend.
Yeah.
I
just want to say, Mike's doing an awesome job. I think, you know, it's going to be big. Put the word out. Didn't put the word out with people. Getting really good response. It's just some people got other things to do, but we're trying to make it big as possible, and it's going to be fun. So everybody come out, have a great time. I'm about to get back to my people and have a good time with my family.
Good.
And have a good time. I had a lovely time talking to you guys, Adam. It was awesome. I like what you're doing. And I'll see you guys at the track.
All right, man. We'll see you at state finals. And you guys heard it during practice. Northwest Exposure will be there on site doing interviews. And my first interviewee will be Harold Ridge. And I'll give you all the time in the world, Harold.
I have my notes ready, man. I have my notes ready.
Good,
He's had that for 2 years. He's been building on it.
Oh,
it's rolling. It's rolling.
That's awesome. Yep. Well, good.
All right, y'all.
All right, man.
All right.
Take it easy, buddy. Take care.
All right, later. Yeah.
All right. And Mike, anything else you want to say before we let you go as well?
Yeah, so just one thing to give everybody a heads up is that we still do have a couple tent spots.
Okay.
Available for camping at the track. RVs are full. Kim did a really good job. She posted up on the track Facebook page a bunch of different RV campsites for people to, if they're looking for place. Another thing too that we're going to do for state finals on Sundays, we're going to have live motos, which is pretty cool to get that out there. And also another thing too.
Wait. Live? Hold on. Back up.
Eric Ross.
Back up. What do you mean live motos? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so live motos. Everybody be able to go onto our website and click on live motos and pull up and see your motos.
Oh,
well.
okay. So like at a national,
You know,
where you could go on their website and look at your moto sheet.
Where you can go in and click on your kids'
Gotcha.
motos or your moto and
and
see what moto you are and gate and stuff like that.
Oh, that'll be nice.
One thing that's really cool is that Eric Roth from Northwest BMX, he is going to be raffling off a autographed Connor Fields F2 helmet.
Yeah, that's big.
And with all the proceeds going back to the tracks, that's really cool of him to be generous like that and be able to help us out. So
that's rad. And I have tagged Connor in all my posts, and I thought it'd be really rad. How cool would it be too if he actually showed up? Be like, yeah, maybe he'll show up. Maybe he needs a little bit of extra cash for college right now. Who knows?
No, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'm sure he would definitely be welcome with open arms. I know that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, good.
Yeah, no, man, that's about all I got.
Good.
On my notes.
Well, cool. Well, good, man. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And this was my first time doing one that was more about news and stuff coming up. And so this is really cool to be able to do. I want to start doing a few more of these throughout the year and whatnot. And like I said, you're giving some shout outs to some of the local Oregon kids that are doing well at nationals, like this weekend. Sierra Sam Hammer pulling a double today, and winning up in Canada, and all the other kids out there. They got to get some love, and that's what I'm all about, man, is making sure these kids get some love, and these people from the Northwest get some love. So again, thank you, Mike, for coming on, and we'll see you here in a few weeks, and it'll be a good show.
Yeah, it sounds good, man. Hey, I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. All right. And also for anybody else still listening in, we kind of some cool stuff going on. I do have some dates lined up. We will be going live at Goods BMX on our next show. It'll be August 16th with Shad Johnson. And we're really going to be getting into the story of the freestyle scene in Oregon, Washington, and the growth of it, the boom of it. The movies, the films that came out of the Northwest during the late 90s and mid and early 2000s was astronomically some of the best videos ever made. And we're going to talk a lot about that. So again, we'll be live with Shad Johnson at Goods BMX up there in Portland on August 16th. So we'll be there doing that. I'm planning on getting a few more podcasts in with some guys up there while I'm up there, and we'll post dates on that and times on that. So we'll get that going. And and then tune in on Sunday during practice at the Oregon State Finals. We're going to be doing a live show and interviewing, who knows, but definitely Harold Ridge. So I'll be interviewing Harold Ridge. That'll be Sunday the 19th, and from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Excuse me, my apologies. So tune in for that, and we'll see you next time. Always want to thank our sponsors of the show, Danger Snacks, dangersnacks.com. Go check them out for your extra spicy, sweet, pick-me-up candies that are completely organic, vegan, and great for you, and give you that little bit of pep and that little bit of jump. And then also make sure you go check out Upright Clothing Company, and they are on Facebook and Instagram, or you can message Jim Kinsey via email at jimkinsey@upright.com. And then you can also go check out MalalaRiverBMX.com and make sure you get all the information of the race going on for state finals. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming on. Thanks for everybody who jumped in and chimed in, and we will talk to you soon. Oh, you know what? I'm going to back up. Let's see if anybody's still listening, but backing up all the way to Rocky Manning's post, I wanted to point out that he mentioned that, he was telling me, because I'm going to be doing some clinics and stuff out at Boomtown BMX here soon. And one of the clinics I want to do, so if Rocky, if you're listening, we can kind of jump on it, is all the fires that have been going on down in Redding right now. A lot of people lost their homes, a lot of things went bad. And my goal is that if we go down there and I do one of the clinics down there, the first one I want to do, where all the proceeds will go towards a family either that they know of that needs help, that lost their home, or maybe there's a local kid, a local family that races that needs some help. And so that first clinic that I do back down there at Boomtown BMX, all the proceeds will go to a family in need that lost one of their homes in the fires down there in Reading, because that was some really bad, sad news. I know it hit me pretty hard being a firefighter in my career throughout my life, and seeing that many people lose their homes and that much forest go down in flames was pretty sad and unfortunate. So we'll be sure to do that as well. So if you're listening, Rocky, let's get together on that and make that happen. Anyways, again, thanks everybody for listening in. See you at the Oregon State Finals, August 17th, 18th, and 19th. And we'll be there. Take care.